What if I told you the U.S. military built a machine that doesn't care whether it's on water, sand, mud, ice, or swamp? A machine that can carry a 70-ton battle tank, faster than most speedboats, and drive it straight up a beach like it's nothing. No dock, no ramp, no problem. This is the LCAC, the Landing Craft Air Cushion. And this thing is one of the most underrated pieces of military engineering the United States has ever built. Today, we're breaking down exactly how it works, the engines, the speed, the payload, and why it changed amphibious warfare forever. Now let's talk about the engine, because this is where things get serious. The LCAC runs on 4 Avco-Lycoming TF-40B gas turbine engines, the same class of technology that powers military helicopters and jet aircraft. Combined output, 16,000 shaft horsepower. To put that in perspective, a Dodge Hellcat makes 717 horsepower, and people lose their minds over it. The LCAC makes 16,000. That's like strapping 22 Hellcats under one platform. Now, that power gets split into 2 jobs. 2 engines drive 4 massive centrifugal lift fans. These are what create the air cushion and keep the whole thing floating. The other 2 engines drive 2 reversible pitch propellers, each one nearly 12 feet in diameter, and those are what push it forward, backward, and sideways. The craft also burns through about 1,000 gallons of fuel per hour, which is why it carries a 5,000-gallon internal fuel tank. Speed. This is where the LCAC absolutely embarrasses older landing craft. Before the LCAC, conventional landing craft topped out at around 8 knots. That's about 9 miles per hour. Slow enough that enemy forces had plenty of time to set up defenses. The LCAC, over 40 knots, fully loaded. That's 46 miles per hour on the water. And here's the tactical game changer. The LCAC can launch from over 50 miles offshore, completely beyond the horizon, and still reach the beach. Enemy radar can't even see the ship it launched from. By the time they know it's coming, it's already there. That element of surprise, that's not just fast, that's a strategic weapon. What can this thing actually carry? Standard payload is 60 tons. Push it into overload mode, 75 tons. That's enough to carry one M1 Abrams main battle tank, the heaviest, most powerful tank in the U.S. military arsenal, straight from an amphibious ship to the beach. No other landing craft in the world can do that. Or, if you swap out the tank for troops, the LCAC can carry 180 fully equipped Marines in one run. The cargo deck itself is 1,809 square feet, roughly the size of a standard American home. And it can be configured for vehicles, weapon systems, supplies, or even casualty evacuation in medical emergencies. Versatile doesn't even begin to cover it. Here's a stat that doesn't get enough attention. Old school landing craft could only access about 17% of the world's coastlines. They needed deep, clean water and a gradual slope. The LCAC, it can access over 80% of the world's coastlines. Rocky shores, mudflats, swamps, Arctic ice, steep riverbanks, obstacles up to 4 feet high. It doesn't matter, because it's not touching any of it. It floats over everything. This completely transformed how U.S. military planners think about amphibious operations. It's not just about where you can land anymore. It's about where the enemy thinks you can't. That uncertainty is a massive tactical advantage. One last thing that most people don't know about the LCAC. You don't drive it, you fly it. The operator is called a craft master, and he sits in a cockpit, just like a pilot. He steers with a yoke in his hands and rudder pedals under his feet. The LCAC moves in 6 degrees of freedom, just like a helicopter. Navy personnel who've operated say the sensation is like flying through high turbulence, or sliding a hockey puck across an air hockey table size of a football field. And you're doing it with a 60-ton tank on board. The LCAC isn't flashy. It doesn't have missiles. It doesn't make headlines like an aircraft carrier or a stealth bomber. But when the U.S. military needs to put heavy firepower on a hostile shore, fast, from far away, on almost any terrain on Earth, there is nothing else like it. For gas turbines, 16,000 horsepower, 40-plus knots, 75 tons, 80% of the world's coastlines. This is American engineering at its most ruthlessly practical. If you like this breakdown, hit like and subscribe. We cover the machines, weapons, and technology that keep the U.S. military the most capable force on the planet. We'll see you in the next one.